Yeah.
Next.
Okay, this is John and Jenny Smith. Jenny was shot and killed by Steve Jones when he mugged her. John survived the shooting, but later died of natural causes. Steve also eventually died of natural causes. John believed you did magic tricks. Miracles. Back on Earth 2,000 years ago, and therefore accepted your ultimatum. Steve also believed at the time of his death. Jenny, however, did not believe.
Oh, well, this is easy then. Jenny, bye-bye. John, Steve, have fun in heaven together.
You think John will be happy spending an eternity with the guy who murdered his wife?
Of course he will. Sin cannot occur in heaven, and hate is sin. Every bit as serious as murder, Jeffrey.
Then he isn't really himself in heaven. He's just some mindless drone, forced to be happy to spend eternity with the guy who made his life a living nightmare. But if people aren't themselves in heaven, then the only true afterlife is in hell.
Jeffrey, just take it up with Dad, okay? I'm done.
What's up, Jeffrey?
God, I was thinking,
That's probably not a good idea, Jeffrey.
why is murder wrong?
What do you mean, why is murder wrong?
Well,
Of course it's wrong.
right, but I'm more worried about why the people who believe in you think it's wrong.
Jeffrey, what the hell are you talking about? That's what the believers say to the atheists.
I know.
They say, if you don't believe in God, then why aren't you out murdering people right now?
Yeah, but
According to the atheist worldview, murder isn't wrong, they say. And morality is subjective.
okay.
And then the atheist cries and runs home to mama. Now,
Whatever you say, God. Just forget I asked.
forget you asked what? Why murder is wrong?
Yeah. Do you say murder is wrong because it's wrong? Or is it wrong because you say it's wrong?
Well, okay, what's the difference?
Well, if murder is wrong whether or not God says it's wrong, then morality doesn't require God. But if murder is wrong just because God says it's wrong, then morality is arbitrary.
What? No, it's not arbitrary. Jeffrey, it's against my nature.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And who decided what your nature would be?
I did?
Then you just pushed the problem back a step, and morality is still arbitrary.
I didn't.
Then your nature was determined by something else beyond your control, which again means God isn't a requisite of morality. So I ask you again, why is murder wrong?
I don't... Well, why do you think it's wrong?
Oh, of course you'd have to ask me, because you've murdered a lot of people, haven't you?
No. Jeffrey, it's not murder when I do it.
I think that's called special pleading, God.
No, I'm not human, Jeffrey, so it's not murder. I created humans, so I have the right to do whatever I want with them. Everything that happens according to my plan, which is ultimately good. Besides, why would it matter if I take someone's life when they'll live on in eternity?
You've killed people. So wouldn't it be godly to kill people?
Do what I say, not what I do, Jeffrey.
Isn't that hypocritical?
Is it hypocritical for a parent to drink a beer, but then not allow their child to drink a beer too?
Well, no.
Right, because there's a bigger picture to consider, Jeffrey. There's reasons beyond a child's understanding. So, I ask you once again, why do you think murder is wrong?
It's not.
What?
I mean, as long as you, God Almighty, exists, then murder isn't actually wrong.
How so?
My, how short your memory is, God. Don't you remember saying, everything that happens according to my plan, which is ultimately good?
Yeah. So?
That's instant justification for murder. If someone commits murder, then that murder was necessarily part of God's plan, because everything that happens according to your plan, and your plan is supposed to be ultimately good. Besides, what does that matter? The murderer is just sending the person to an eternity with you, and as you yourself said, what's a few years of life compared to an eternity? Who cares? Also, the murderer could just ask you for forgiveness and not be punished, right? So, if God exists, then not only is murder not wrong, but it's totally justifiable and morally inconsequential. On the other hand, if there is no God, then murder is unjustifiable and highly consequential. Well, the non-believer most likely also doesn't believe there's an afterlife, which means they'd think their current life is all they get. If they murdered someone, their only shot at life would be ruined by spending all their time in prison. What's more important, though, is that they believe that taking someone's life means that they'd end that person forever, taking away all their memories and future experiences, everything they would have ever had or ever would have been. The ultimate violation.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
So, what are you in for?
Oh, I didn't believe Jesus did magic tricks.
Same here.
Me
I
too.
think that's what everyone's in for.
Yep, no, I was.
Hi, I'm here to see the used Honda Prius weekend special that you have advertised in the paper. I was just wondering if I could...
Pre-owned.
Excuse me?
Please, ma'am. We say it's pre-owned, not used. Don't be disrespectful.
Okay. I was wondering if I could take a look at it?
Of course you can. Have a seat.
I'm sorry, but I don't have all day. If you could please just show me the car, then
What
I'll...
are you saying? Are you saying that you don't believe that I have the Honda Prius?
What? No, I just wanted to possibly take it for a test drive before I... What's all this?
That's historical evidence that proves the car exists.
Tax forms, warranty info, the owner's manual. Yeah, there certainly is a lot of info about the car here.
That'll be $15,000, please.
What? I didn't agree to that. I haven't even seen the car yet.
Here we go again. Have a little faith, will you, lady? It's my car. Did you know that? I have a close personal relationship with that car. I know all about it. I mean, I live like 7 miles from here. If I didn't own the Honda Prius in that ad, then how the hell did I get here, huh? Explain that.
Well, you could have walked, rode a bike, or even driven a different car, or taken the bus, or...
Ridiculous! You actually believe that? Obviously, the only way I could have gotten here is by Honda Prius.
Unbelievable! I don't care. Just show me the damn car already. I'm not going to give you any money unless I can actually see this car for myself.
Whoa, 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 lady. I'm gonna have to ask that you calm down. You're causing a scene. Jim, what the hell is going on here?
It's just that this lady wants to see the pre-owned weekend special. And
The silver 1976 Corvette Stingray? Good choice, lady. Classic car. You're gonna love it.
What the hell are you talking about? It's a blue 2007 Honda Prius.
Are you kidding me? I used to own that Stingray. I know how it handles. I know how it sounds. I've got a close personal relationship with that car.
What the hell is all this bickering going on over here?
Jim here thinks that the pre-owned weekend special is a Honda Prius.
It is.
Bam!
It's a red Honda Prius.
Wait, what? No, it's not. It's blue.
Jim, come on. Not even close. It's obviously red.
Blue!
Prove it.
Just look at the ad. It says cool color. Obviously, blue is considered a cool color, whereas red is considered a warm color.
No. You misinterpreted the ad. Obviously, the word cool wasn't meant that way. The writer of the ad meant for the word cool to mean like trendy, hip, you know, like red is a cool color.
Excuse me? We could settle this right now if we all just went out and actually looked at the car.
What's her problem?
Oh, she doesn't believe the car exists.
Silly woman.
You can't prove that the car doesn't exist.
Yeah, where's your proof and evidence that your disbelief in the car is accurate and correct?
Well, for one, none of you can even show me this car. If you really had a car to sell, I would have seen it by now.
Whoa, look at all this. I've given you historical evidence. Look at all these papers. And I've given you testimony from people who have had experience with this car.
Yeah, they've had experience with the car, but they can't even agree on what color it is, or even what type of car it is. And now that I take a closer look at this paperwork, a lot of it appears to be from several different cars as well.
So you're going to base this whole purchasing decision on a few insignificant disagreements? Buying a car is a big decision.
Are you going to show me the car or not?
Sincerely believe that I have the car, pay me the $15,000, and maybe one day the car will reveal itself to you.
Okay, I've heard enough. Thanks for wasting my time. I asked you to show me a car, but instead you show me arguments. Good day.
Lady, here's the hard truth. If you don't believe that I have the car, then you're going to be tortured mercilessly, and you'll be sorry that you didn't give me that 15 grand. The choice is yours.
What? You're robbing me?
It's not a robbery. Like I said, you have a choice in the matter.
You call that a choice? This isn't a choice. It's a hijacking.
Call it whatever you want, but if you don't believe in the car, then there's no one to blame but you. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that the car can fly?
Yeah?
Yahweh, you have a decision to make.
What decision?
Are you going to leave your creation to its own devices, or are you going to interact with it?
I definitely want to interact with it.
You didn't even hesitate to answer.
So?
So you already know how you intend to interact, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a plan.
Such a thing is not to be taken lightly, Yahweh. Do you plan to reveal your true nature to your creation?
Of course.
How will you do that?
I'm gonna do it over there.
Come, let's take a closer look, shall we?
Here.
Here? Only here?
Yeah. This general area. This is where I'm gonna reveal myself to my chosen people. And give them my commands.
I see. And what will be your goal in doing this?
To be loved and
it's okay. You can tell me.
and worshipped.
And if they don't?
Then they'll perish.
Yahweh, follow me. This general area, from the Tigris in the east to the Mediterranean in the west, and from Mount Ararat in the north to the Nile in the south, this tiny section of your creation will encompass the entirety of your interactions, recorded within your sacred texts.
Tiny? This is a rather significant portion of land, if you ask me.
Oh, it surely is, Yahweh, but this is hardly the extent of your creation. While you involve yourself with the traditions and politics of this little area of the world, the rest of the planet will continue in its many diverse ways without your interactions. They will develop their own religions and cultures, many of which will conflict with the ones you grace. From the many tribes of Africa to the Celts of Europe and to the rest of Asia, Buddhists and Hindus of China and India, vast land masses populated by billions of people. You will not interact with them. What of Indonesia and Australia? Across vast oceans, the tribes of North America will be ignorant of your earthly interventions, as will the Aztecs and Mayans of Central America and the Incas of South America, entire continents of your creation inhabited by countless generations who will know nothing of your dire message. In fact, they'll each invent their own versions of gods who will echo their specific cultural values, no differently than your chosen people will echo yours, so you will seem like just another invented god, sharing the same cultural values as the people in the one area with which you will interact. That is a significant coincidence, Yahweh, for as some will eventually notice, gods always behave like the people who create them.
So, you think I should just go around revealing myself to all these civilizations?
Go around? No, Yahweh, you're omnipresent, so you're already among them, always. Why remain hidden to those in South America but not to those in the Middle East? why would mere geography affect an omnipresent God's interaction with his creation? Geography should only affect man-made gods. Given your plan here, I'm beginning to wonder why any human beings should exist beyond the Middle East at all. Come with me, Yahweh. Let's look at the bigger picture. Around half of the people on Earth will eventually develop religions based on your existence, and those religions will violently conflict with each other. Whether they believe the Earth is the place you sent your one and only Son to be sacrificed, or that Muhammad was your prophet, or that the Jews are your chosen people, it's all about Earth. But look around. There are other planets here, revolving around this star. And this star, this massive object that's 1.3 million times larger than the Earth, is actually microscopic compared to the rest of the galaxy, which has hundreds of billions of stars, with systems of planets also numbering in the hundreds of billions, of which at least 8.8 billion are Earth-sized and inhabitable zones. Now, we could cross this galaxy if we traveled at light speed for 100,000 years. Yet even this incomprehensibly massive galaxy is microscopic, because there are hundreds of billions of galaxies. Try to wrap your mind around that. You knew that, though, because you're omnipresent, which means you're simultaneously amongst each and every one of those octillions of stars and all their systems of planets. And of all those many worlds, you're going to send your one and only Son to a tiny area on one planet. Or have Muhammad convey your message there, or declare that the Jews there are your chosen people. You're going to do everything on that little area of land and have the few primitive bipedal organisms who happen to live there write down conflicting accounts about it on little pieces of parchment on a single world amongst octillions. That will be the extent of your sacred recorded interactions with this massive creation. Tell me, Yahweh, why have you decided to limit yourself this way?
Because I wanted it to be a clockwork universe. You see how precise it is? It all runs automatically. If I wanted to do that, then this is how it needs to be.
But you're God.
Yeah? So?
You have unlimited power, so you need the universe to run automatically to what end? You don't need to concentrate, you don't need to conserve energy, you don't need to devote time or resources elsewhere because you have unlimited time, unlimited resources. Yahweh, one day people will be able to look beyond Earth. And where once they thought they'd find you, instead they're going to find countless other worlds and stars and galaxies. They're going to find a clockwork universe, automatic, running and dying, all on its own according to the laws of nature, without requiring an omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, spaceless, timeless, supernatural being to run anything.
But they're going to ask who created those finely tuned laws of nature. The design of the universe itself will be the evidence of my existence and nature.
Will it? The question of fine-tuning will be inevitable, indeed, because each and every unknown that was attributed to your doing will eventually be discovered to be nature's doing. The question itself, however, will lead to an infinite regress. Why would you need to finely tune the laws of nature unless you are being restricted by some other laws beyond your control? And who created the laws that govern the necessity for God to fine-tune the laws of nature? If these laws dictated the nature of your creation, then how could you be called omnipotent? How could you be called God if your creation could only be created in one kind of way? If the laws of nature could only be one kind of way to permit life, and if the universe runs all on its own, then what does it need with a God? Because if that's the case, then you didn't actually design anything. You merely followed a set of instructions.
Okay. Then, what would be a better way to fulfill my plan?
I don't think you really want to hear the answer to that.
I do. Just tell me.
First, treat people equally. Do not have a chosen people and do not rely upon flawed human beings to spread your message, for they will corrupt it to achieve their own ends. Instead, you yourself should convey your message to everyone in your creation equally, with consideration to their unique standards across all 7 continents on Earth and everywhere on every other planet with intelligent life. That way, there could be no misunderstanding or deception regarding your message. Do not attempt to convince or coerce people to love you through rewards or punishments. It's not real love if it's not born of one's own volition. Do not make a clockwork universe. Create a universe that demands your presence and interaction in order to run, so that it will make absolutely no sense unless you are there to run it as an integral cog in the machine. Curious, isn't it, God? God?